Alright everyone, welcome back to Echo League Season 2, Game 2 between Mr. Crab and Be Humble. I'm joined by Math, yet again. And we're getting into this draft. They're going a little bit quicker than last time.
Yeah,
Be Humble picking up the Warlock again, but we got a Abyssal Underlord. Haven't seen one of them in quite a while.
Straight up Omni-Knight ban in the first phase. They don't want to deal with that again.
I mean, he did end up being quite the nuisance.
Yeah, and they picked so it was a first pick Shakira. They don't think that was the problem. And then Be Humble responds with Warlock Sanking, and then Mr. Crab picks up the Underlord, which, I think that, if anything, the Underlord, if they put the Sanking on a 1v1 win against the Underlord, that's like a lane that Sanking definitely locks in with, right?
Yeah.
Like, they really want like burst and magic against this Underlord, or a carry that can deal with that early on. Maybe like a Juggernaut, maybe like a ranged carry that like a Blinks, something with like a lot of broth.
Yeah, and I mean, Mr. Crab playing that mid lane banning game again, probably gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if they ban out the OD here, just because they got the Invoker yet again. Be Humble banned out the Lina and the Bristleback.
They banned the Invoker last time.
Oh, they banned out the Sven. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. The Sven definitely was a problem for them.
I mean, banning both Invoker and OD would like set up for a Sven pick.
Right.
Also with the Omni-Knight,
Right. I heard some scratching coming from your end. No, let's.
Oh, sorry, I'm playing with something.
Ah.
It was close to my mic.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's unclear still if this is going to be an offline tanking. I think that they should set up to like a 1v1 then Lord, but it could still be like a roaming 4-ish tanking. See what they do. So last time here they picked like the Earth Spirit, I think, which ended up being less. Well, he was less effective than I think he would have wanted to be.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely helped near the late game with getting quite a few stunts and some silences off, especially on the Queen of Pain. And it looks like it's going to be a Tidehunter off lane, roaming Sand King.
Roaming Sand King could be interesting. It's still unclear like how easy it'll be to gank lanes. I think that once you know what the enemy roamer is going to do, you can sort of like set up your lanes to be harder to gank.
Yeah. And the Sand King is only really effective at level 3 once it gets that second level in Burrow Strike.
Yeah, level 1 Burrow's cast range is like...
Yeah. Like, you'd need some other stun from your mid laner in order to set it up.
Or even something like an OG would have worked, or still can work actually. An Astral or anything like that. Tidehunter also like another... Yeah, I think that Tidehunter and Underlord are probably like two of the most brain-dead offlaners. Just like... farm up and you get your gains, and then you get your mech, and then you get a pipe, and then blink or whatever.
Yeah, Tidehunter gets like 2 or 3 levels in Anchor Smash and then just kind of AFK jungles for 10 minutes. Ooh, they pick up the Elder Titan. So again, going for some of these hard to hit ults for the team fight.
Yeah, it's a very like weird early pick for the Elder Titan.
Yeah.
Because normally you would want that against like once they reveal Agi carry.
Right.
Titan really good against like Agi cores because of the natural order. They do have a lot of magical damage, which somehow synergizes with that as well, but seems like niche. I would say just like a comfort hero at this point. You're playing one game behind, and this is probably elimination or close to if they don't win this. So I didn't actually do the math, but they really need to win this one, and maybe they're just going for a comfort hero.
There's a life stealer. I like that.
Yeah. So definitely not an Agi carry.
No. And an immediate Animage pickup by Mr. Crab. So, I mean, they knew what they wanted.
And it's not clear that it's a great anti-mage game either. No big mana void target either side.
I mean, he does help you
Yeah, sorry, go on.
He does help you transition more into the late game. I think that's somewhat of a problem that Mr. Crab had.
I don't think. I think the problem they had is that they didn't just like seize the opportunity that they had.
Right.
Um, the other thing that I'm concerned about is that there's really no synergy between the Elder Titan and the two other supports.
Right.
Because you sleep someone. So sorry, if any of the three other dots are applied, like the Underlord's Q or any of the dots from the Q are applied on a sled target, then they instantly get woken up.
But it does help set up some of the
Yeah.
ults. Like it helps set up like an ice path into a macropyre,
Yeah,
or even like an Underlord pit.
Or it helps set up like a pit. So they need to actually play the synergy, right? So like you could very easily mistime it so that there's still a dot on effect, and then the target that you're trying to sleep gets woken. Like imagine you miss on the life stealer or something, and then he's just like running away. Like actually, they don't even have any like BKB piercing disables. I don't think.
Yeah, like they're gonna rely on this Animage once he picks up a Basher and Abyssal Blade to deal with this life stealer.
Killing this life stealer early on should be very, very hard task. Yeah, they have Viper Strike to kite. That's about it. It's a good heal to Titan, but that's about it they have early on.
Yeah. And then Be Humble's got two
great vehicles. They could go
vehicles.
for a puck now. They want like a more, I think, vehicle-y mid. It's not a storm because there's an anti-mage at play, but they could go for a puck if they wanted to. It's not really a great matchup.
I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think of what else they could pick, because a Queen of Pain wouldn't be too good.
Even OG wouldn't be like terrible here. I mean, you can't win a lane against.
Yeah. They go for a Shadow Fiend instead. I mean... They got 3 different vehicles for the Lifestealer once a Shadow Fiend picks up a...
Yeah. But 4 melee heroes into an Elder Titan and an Anti-Mage. Viper. Strange. A lot of team fight though for side of Be Humble, more so than on Mr. Crab.
Yeah, like Mr. Crab's team fight's just harder to pull off.
And again, look at this. So who okay. And it's relatively hard lanes to gank on either side, right? Like Sand King cannot really go on the Viper with the Shadow Fiend. Elder Titan can't really sit up. I guess you could try to sit up on the Shadow Fiend. That's about as much synergy as I can see. Like there aren't really any easy, reliable stunts. Like,
yeah.
The only thing you have is you can walk in with the Sand King. That's about it. But it's not gonna work at level 1.
Right. Yeah. So we might see a little bit more of a calm early game. Well, we're gonna get started here. Get some nice little bants coming out. I believe my co-caster has banned me real quick, got taken away, but we'll keep going. Let's see, we got nothing too crazy coming out. No secret smokes.
Alright, sorry, I had to hold up for a second.
Okay. Well, just pretty standard of the game, kind of like last time. No crazy deep smokes to try and find a kill. Haven't even seen any deep wards placed yet. I mean, Warlock's got a sentry and a obs on him, but he hasn't placed him yet. And Jakiro's kind of protecting their jungle.
Yeah, no early TPs either. Just no one revealing any early wards either. Trying to place them. See where they apply pressure. Some casual all chat on both sides.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're going aggro late here? The something in the...
I mean, it's very maybe. Or maybe just trying to help out this life stealer.
No, but like they're sending their carry, so they're giving. So this is the thing that I mentioned earlier. So they're giving this Tidehunter a 1v1 matchup against the Underlord. Which
Yeah, they really want to shut down the Anti-Mage.
But I'm trying to think who wins that lane, the Tidehunter versus. I think it should go like. I mean, no one has real kill potential.
Yeah, like it's just gonna be two big dudes staring at each other.
But it's probably going to go fine for the Tidehunter. We should all both be able to farm.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of damage already coming down on the Warlock.
Yeah, and the Sand King. Let's see. The Vipers. Oh, down bottom. I mean, this is just gonna be full of time. Sand King got a nice burrow strike onto the Elder Titan, but Elder Titan, he's so got his big suitcase getting chased down. He might be able to get this kill. Shadow Words on him, and burrow strike's able to secure it. Warlock's just walking away, and Sand King kind of starts poking at that Jakiro. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage and Lifestealer just kind of square off against one another. Oh, Shadow Fiend's able to get a kill on the Viper.
Looks like it was going aggressive. It was pretty far out.
Yeah. I mean... but Shadow Fiend picks up 2 levels in the Raise and probably just took him down.
Some more casual small talk and the offlaners.
I mean, recognizing that they're both kind of just big fat guys. Let's see.
Yes, I'm still trying to like understand what like the synergy is on the side of Radiant. Like it just seems like it's a lot of conflict mix. Oh, okay, Anti-Mage making the swap. So they're changing lanes.
They're coming up.
To set up the Anti-Mage, but we'd much rather fight against the Tidehunter.
Yeah. I mean, the Anti-Mage is a little bit squishier than the Underlord. And Viper gets a kill onto the Shadow Fiend this time. Almost gets cut with the Fatal Bonds. Step back up. I think he's ferrying himself out of bottle now. Yeah. And looks like it's going to be a 2v1. They TP the Jakiro up to the top lane. Gonna help out with this Anti-Mage.
And UT is still running around bottom, so he could stick around if he wants. But it seems like he's gonna stick around. Okay, so they're gonna make the change as well. So TP picked up by the Lifestealer. Tidehunter went down bottom and gonna try to get the kill on the Elder, but it looks like it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah. Elder Titan just kind of able to run away with the bonus speed, but he gets Burrow Strike. He's also got Caustic on him, so they bring him down. Nice anchor smash.
Lifestealer TPing top now.
It's just
a game of like musical chairs going on.
Seriously.
Now, Viper getting gone on mid again. Could this be? No.
Viper very low. Bottle crying, I think? Yeah. Let's see. Tidehunter and Underlord now down
another
bot.
Rune fight. You know how this ended last time.
Yep. Not wanting to go too aggressive from the Viper. Up top, they might be able to get a kill on the Anti-Mage. She's able to blink out, but the Fatal Bonds is going to drop him very low, as well as the Shadow Word. And the Cosmic Finale is going to pop as well. He drops down. And Shadow Fiend gets a kill into the Viper mid. Early game going pretty favorably for Be Humble so far. Just able to get quite a few kills, especially on the mid laners. Here comes Anti-Mage. Switching bottom again.
Question is, are they going to switch back?
I mean, maybe Jakiro's walking down there.
There's no TP yet on the Lifestealer. See what he decides.
Yeah.
Another soul ring on the Tide. This guy really likes soul ring.
I mean, it worked out well for him last time.
Yeah, but is this a Soul Ring hero, Tidehunter?
I have no idea. Maybe he just likes having mana at all times. Just able to spam out those anchor smashes early.
I mean, but this is a hero that like has no sustain.
Yeah.
Can't like heal himself. Like, yeah.
Underlord also went Soul Ring.
Interesting. These guys really like this. I guess they they buy the early mango.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta use it, right? Efficiency.
Yeah, train. Oh, we got a pause.
But I don't know. Underlord sort of makes sense because you can like nuke from far, right?
Right.
That's like slightly different. Like think of like Earthshaker can do the same thing, or Saw with Chakra. And let's see, all of this has left the Lifestealer at the top of the CS. So you can add a network as well at 6 minutes. Anti-Mage lagging a bit behind, doing all this like swapping and keeping dying.
Right.
And then Tide ended up very much favored by the lane. We didn't talk about that, but it seems like General was having trouble kicking into the Tide.
Yeah.
They're getting less expensive. I mean, I figured the matchup would go Tide favor, but I didn't think that it'd be like so bad.
Yeah, he's just been able to spam out the Anchor Smash a bit too much for this Underlord.
And I guess like the Underlord also TP'd at some point bottom to try to involve in a kill? No, he did. No, it was the Tidehunter. Never mind. Oh, the Tidehunter got a kill. Okay, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. So we'll have to like watch this and see like how he missed so much. What happened? But I guess it's sort of just a fear that it's like hard to right click with, or sorry, like get last hits with.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you got the Anchor Smash reducing your damage.
No, but it's sort of like I mean, like the damage from the Firestorm is not as reliable. It's sort of like last hitting early with like Iron Shell. It's sort of like a bit of luck sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't rely. You need to like you can't rely on the damage of a tank to do it for you.
Let's see. Come on. I mean, I think at this point, Mr. Crab just kind of want their Animage to be left alone, so he can farm up. I mean, he's got the Ring of Health queued up and wants to go into the Battle Fury. But I mean, just these lane swaps are not conducive to that.
Yeah, and it seems like the ET hasn't found his place around. Like, he hasn't been able to help mid. He hasn't been able to help bottom. He's gonna start finding himself low on levels, and he's trying to set up for something. Like Viper not level. Oh, Viper got level 6 just now. Okay. If the SF gets a bit cocky, maybe they can take it.
Going hard onto this SF. He's got the Viper Strike as well as... Oh, he's not able to get the last Shadow Raise off, so... Finally gets a kill onto the Shadow Fiend. Or gets another kill on the Shadow Fiend.
Yep.
But we do have Warlock coming up behind him. You'll see him rotate around with the ward, so he'll be able to back off just a bit. He's able to get the Shadow Word as well as the Fatal Bonds. He might drop fairly low. He doesn't have a shrine to run to. They've used it already.
Should be dead.
And he will drop.
Little boss free.
Down bot, the Sand King rotated down to help with the...
Oh, and they're gonna get the ward off. They'll be warding mid.
Ah, man. They did have a Sentry Ward mid lane from the Radiant team, but they weren't able to...
committed bottom on the Jakiro.
He's able to get him.
Anti-mage rotate. Sorry, anti-mage rotate. Let's try to blink on this something.
Yeah, not able to. Just joins him with the sandstorm. Ooh, baits out the anchor smash. It's not really too much of a committal because it's... Oh, up top they get a kill onto the Underlord.
Again, Fatal Bombs Shadow Word.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much for them. Sandy Mage doing everything he can to stand up to this Tidehunter, but it's just too much for him. Oh man, this is a nice fat quad stack. It's not able to connect on it. Maybe Underlord saw it? It's gonna go try and throw a Firestorm down.
Viper strike mid. Not enough.
Maybe? No.
Oh, ET is trying to go for the snipe.
Not quite able to get it. Up top, the Underlord does find the stack, so it's gonna partake in this.
He might steal some of that, but he's gonna.
Man, this lifestealer is dropping very low.
This is all, and he doesn't. It's pretty risky.
Yeah.
Gonna play.
Ooh, is he gonna get it? Nope, not quite. Does get denied by the neutral creeps.
That was close. Maybe, you know, Underlord had like all the extra damage going for him, and he thought that he maybe was gonna kill.
Yeah, I think if he had committed just a little bit and hadn't backed off quite as much, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I mean, it's sometimes hard to like read those situations when like you're committed implicitly, but you don't fully commit yourselves. Ravage off cooldown again, just now.
Yep, might see him go for another kill down bottom. I mean, here comes the Burrow Strike. They get the Anchor Smash and the Ravage as well. They just really want this. Oh, Shakira might get out. He does get denied by the neutral creep.
Wow. That's just such a win for...
What a clutch ice path.
Yeah. Value point in ice path.
Yep.
Viper diving mid, it seems? No, he's back in.
It's going for the treads.
Warlock already level 7. We didn't talk about
Jeez.
that. With all these like kills going on for him.
Down at the bottom room, we got Sand King got a double Burrow Strike. Viper Strike
Warlock
committed onto the Sand King.
This could be really bad.
They do get a sentry. It's right on the edge. They get the ice path onto him. Viper's dropping very low though. Does have a shrine. You might be able to get to it. Oh, just the last right click's able to get him. And the Anti-Mage diving deep for this Sand King is able to find him, but he's way out of the way from his team. The shrine is down, so they might be able to turn this on him. The Anchor Smash does connect.
Warlock wants to go for it.
Oh, Warlock almost drops it. He might be able to get it. He's got a Fatal Bonds onto 2. Oh no. And he's able to get out. Jakiro. He's able to get the dual breath, but here comes Sand King. He's back up. He's got 3 points in the Burrow Striker, so he might be able to get the Anti-Mage. Not quite, but meanwhile, top Lifesteal is able to get a kill onto the Abyssal Underlord.
Yeah.
That was again, these nice, long, drawn-out fights.
Yeah. Well, but there's still not that much sustain on the side of Dire yet. Like, Warlock now just got his Kings. If he had him on the previous fight, he would have definitely dropped the Golem on you.
Yeah.
And a full medallion for him. He's like showered in gold right now. He's 5th on the net worth. He's above the enemy Viper. That's not a good sign. And
then Shadow Fiend's also going for a Hand of Midas. He has it now. Just has to fly it out to himself.
Yeah, he's had a really good lane. I mean, I don't think that it still merits it, thing that
Right.
normally just want to keep getting ahead as SF, just want to be farming.
Mhm.
But they're like significantly ahead. They're 6k above in net worth at 12 minutes, which is absurd.
Nice Gush Burrow Strike combo as well. The Ice Path not able to save him this time.
Yeah.
So they take down that Jakiro yet again. Don't have to commit a Ravage this time.
Anti-mage TP bottom, so
Top lane, it looks like they want to go into this Lifestealer. Rage is still up. Might be forced to use it here. Yep, he does, just to get away, and Sand King TP's top. Lifestealer is still pretty low, but he's got an armlet to toggle on. Tidehunter cutting the wave.
It.
Oh, nice. They're able to get it onto the Viper. Here goes the Firestorm yet again. Lifestealer pops a Rage, but they might be able to get a return kill onto the Sand King. They do with the last tick from the Viper.
Yeah,
down bottom, it looks like they want to go into the Animage. They do get the rock off to him, but he is able to blink away. Shadower not quite enough.
And they're gonna get the tower.
Yeah.
And
no, they might have to trade if Radiant are able to push this tower.
Ooh, anti-mage low. This is so close. 50 HP.
Keeps toggling through.
I mean, he's fine at this point. Like, all the other units have died.
Yeah. Looks like they want to take off this tower. They're not able to go it. They get the nice pit, and they are able to get the last hit. Tidehunter keeps getting caught.
Yeah. Very close to a mech, by the way. He's gonna have like a very early mech. At that point, they should just like rebuild. I mean, if SF had like actual fighting items, they would be just ready to fight. But
yeah,
maybe they'll just wait for the Shadow Blade and then start just like running at towers.
Yeah, looking to force team fights.
Like at this point, you have such a huge advantage. You don't really need to, just wait for your cooldowns, get your key items, and just seize the opportunity you have.
Yeah, and they're kind of recognizing this and just four-manning this top tower.
Like they don't need the Desolator on the Lifestealer. They don't need the Blink Sand King. Like
they come. Sand King gets a nice burrow strike, and they get a raise onto this Abyssal Underlord. He goes down. Viper trying to do what he can. He's able to turn it. He pops the. The ult does catch onto him, so he is slowed for a little bit. He's dropping decently low. Reduced. Oh, the burrow strike doesn't hit him. They get the Ice Path onto the Shadow Fiend. He might be able to go down. They do get him with the last Requiem.
And the Viper got the experience for it because the Shadow Fiend died before.
Oh, here comes Tidehunter. Is he gonna pop the Ravage for this one? They might have to. He does. He gets a two-man Ravage. Turns around onto the Elder Titan. Starts chasing him down. Does have a little bit of bonus speed. Throws out the Acro Stomp. He's only able to catch onto one. He's dropping low. He's got the medallion on him, but the Warlock loses vision. He's able to get away.
This Tidehunter has like zero chill. He's here to kill and be efficient with his Ravages. Just get every opportunity to advance.
Yeah, every time it's off cooldown, he pops it and gets a kill.
He's queuing up a Midas this time. So again, this is the like it was fine last game as the Young Knight. I don't think that as a Tidehunter you want to get a Midas.
I don't know, man.
Especially if it's gonna get it like 20 minutes or 22, 25.
I mean, he might go for that 35 XP gain.
No, again. Like I don't know, like it's weird because like you could just be like taking all these towers with like the gold that you have and like threats that you have with the items and so on.
Yeah, and like build into a Greaves instead of a Midas.
Like while they're even a Blink, right? Blink would just be much better. Like it's just strange because on the one hand you are going late into an AM, which you don't want to do, but on the other side, like you're pretty far ahead. All being force stopped by the.
But Tidehunter wanted this Underlord, but he's able to Dark Ripped out. Tidehunter even threw out a taunt there just to say goodbye.
And Underlord going for the first item Vanguard. um, which I'm not sure if like how ideal that is. Um,
I
because
mean,
again, the only go on.
it's just kind of there to help him survive a bit because he was. It helps a little bit against the lifesteal and the Shadow Fiend, but I think it's just more of a survivability tool than it is anything else. Speaking of survivability, the Viper's dropping very low. They get the nice pit, so it's gonna stop people, but it's not able to save the Viper.
Also, Shadowblade revealed bottom by the SF, who walked into the Anti-Mage and now is risking death. That is a dead.
He's able to go down. The Anti-Mage is dropping very low. He's able to blink up.
He
Does
has
have
the
a TP.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's able to TP out. Tidehunter. Not quite ready to pop the Ravage, but down middle. Nice Firestorm gets dropped, but it's not
Waiting
able to
for
connect.
the Rage.
They do get the pit. The Rage already came. Was already used. It's coming through. So here come 3. They get the nice. Here comes the Ravage. It's able to bring down 1, bring down 2. And the Underlord.
Yeah.
A nice space created.
And we didn't talk about this, but that kill on the SF allowed the Anti-Mage to finish his Battle Fury. Not terrible timing given the lane that he's had. Battle Fury tried like 18.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but
I mean, he's also got treads and a poor man's shield.
Yeah.
So he's gonna start looking to farm up.
And you know, getting a Viper as a second core helps because then it's much less greedy. So all the farm really is gonna end up going into this Anti-Mage probably. Maybe put like Viper and the Underlord.
Yeah. Yeah, like really the Anti-Mage is the only one that's gonna be farming up the jungle. So
but
he's gonna be able to soak up everything.
I still would have preferred a different set of items on the end. Be Arcane Neck and then like a pipe. I think he's going for a medallion. He's really prioritizing like the physical damage from the side of Dire, which I guess Gush is physical. The right clicks from the SF and the Lifestealer.
He's just kind of going the all-around survivability build.
Yeah.
Like he's probably gonna
save the ET. No, he's gonna escape himself.
Anti-Mage is getting gone on yet again. Will he be able to get Blink out? He does get Requiem'd and brought down. So, getting a little bit greedy. Farming that deep into the Dire territory, but it's what you gotta do.
No, but I mean, it's strange because the Underlord was also doing the same thing with the where they're like trying to
just trying to be
far
aggressive
out when they're split. Like we didn't have everyone else in their team with them. Normally, if you have this kind of like weird split push, you want to like commit 4 tiers on one lane and 1 on the other or something. But now that just allows the enemy to like pick them off like so on.
Yeah, no. Now they're pushing out bottom. Get scared off a bit by the other Titan, but more of wanting to farm up elsewhere. I mean, Sand King's got a Blink Dagger now. Tidehunter?
Oh, he's going Greaves straight up.
Yeah.
I guess if the SK has the blink, then he doesn't need one.
And I mean, the Tidehunter's really just been walking into fights and then popping Ravage.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't been needing too much initiation.
Yeah, because again, they don't have like the most reliable disable side of Radiant. They only have really like the root to hold him, like not even instantly, but like slightly.
Yeah.
Ice Path has some cast point. Stomp can sort of be dodged. Anti-Mage, you even want to like mana void for.
We might see this Anti-Mage die. He's getting cut off by the Shadow Fiend as well as the Sand King. Yeah, Shadowblade used. He's looking to cut the wave, so here he comes. Winding up. They get the Burrow Strike. They start winding up the Requiem, but how he's able to get away. He's gonna build into the Mana Style next. And I mean, he's catching up to the Sand King, and I'll probably start creeping up on that Shadow Fiend too if he's able to farm on his own. But again, Shadow Fiend walks up to him. Shadow Blade's out. Let's see, does... No one really has a dust yet on the side of the Radiant. They might have to start carrying one for the Shadow Fiend if they're going to try and kill him eventually.
There's a sentry on the Jakiro, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Bomb misses.
Looking to go into the Lifestealer to get the Split Earth.
All committed.
Yeah. I mean, Ravage committed as well as the Rock. Here comes the Underlord. He's gonna stop him. Jakiro gets alive. Here comes the Lifesteal on the back. He's bring down the Elder Titan. They get the Macropyre as well and starts to bring down this Viper. They're diving very deep. He's, nice two-man Burrow Strike. Lifestealer's coming through. Animate just pushing down the lanes. They might be able to bring down the Lifesteal. They do bring him down in the end. Nice pipe is keeping him alive for the most part. They pop the shrines, keeping him nice and healthy. Animage comes in. He gets stunned up. Oh, nice. Void. Nice Void brings down 2. Looking to go into the Warlock as well. Kind of outrunning him. Runs in, finds him. Blinks forward. And here comes the Underlord. Jeez, just ring around the posy. I mean, at least they leave it. And so that's just a 4 for 1? Or did the Elder Titan die as well?
Jakiro, no, ET died as well. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
ET died. Sure, ET died before the Viper.
Yeah. But I mean, that's still very, very good for the Radiant.
Yeah, and you know, they lost a lot of like the net worth advantage today. Anti-Mage now top of the net worth, 25.
Yeah.
2 Midases on the side of Dire, so like that net worth advantage that they have is sort of like inflated at the moment. It'll kick in later, but like.
Yeah, and I mean, Underlord's finished up the. I mean, he's got the. Oop, Elder Titan dropping very low. Nice long range Burrow Strike.
So I'm glad that he's going for. Oh wait, he bought a Talisman of Evasion instead of.
Yeah, he's got the. No, he went for a Solar Crest first.
Oh, I see.
Not able to chase after this Viper. Lifestealer going up top to chase after this Anti-Mage, but I mean, as much as he can man up against him, they don't have too much lockdown for him.
Yeah. He's going back.
Though he does blink. Tidehunter doesn't have Ravage. He's got it in 5 seconds. Are they going to keep chasing? I don't think they have enough catch. I mean, he's got Ravage now, but I mean, this Anti-Mage, he's just out of there.
They don't want to take this fight.
Yeah, and I mean, they got the Shrine. Nice route. They get the sleep onto the Sand King. They do get the ult, but it brings the Viper low. They do get the Requiem popped. Starts to run away. Nice 2-man stomp. It's able to force back the Lifestealer. The Warlock drops his ult. Anti-Mage.
He's gonna die to the Fatal Bonds.
Anti-Mage dies as well. So it started off fairly good. I mean, Jakiro doing what he can, but that's a full 5-man wipe.
I don't think that they should have taken the team fight. That's so inconvenient.
Yeah.
Like the sleep only cut the Sand King, the ETO didn't really do too much.
I think once the Jakiro landed that ice path, they should have disengaged instead of turning and fighting. Because they were able to get a lockdown on quite a few people, but just, I mean, as much as they liked the fight, just the Radiant were completely bottlenecked.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a good place for them. Even though they were by their shrine, it didn't seem like a good place for them.
Yeah. Looks like, I mean, they're able to interrupt the Roche. Warlock's there with the...
Well, all ults are down on the side of Fire except Epicenter.
Yeah. I mean, Lifestealer's going forward. They do have the nice pit. Here comes the sleep. Yeah,
but all the dogs wake him up.
Oh. Blink, he goes for the epicenter. He's able to get it onto 3 as well as the burrow strike. But here comes the Macropyre. He's bringing the Sand King low. He's just standing in the middle of it. They're able to bring down the Lifestealer. Animage is here to start chasing. And he starts going after this Warlock. He does start chasing him down. He does have the Mana Void if he wants it. They're able to get a kill onto the Tidehunter from the Viper. And
yeah, that's what happens when you fight with no ultimates.
Yeah. I mean, they thought they were good with able to take...
Epicenter.
Yeah. And they were able to start taking the Roche, but they just weren't able to finish it off fast enough, and now
yeah, but that was a much better like combination of like their skills. Like the sleep caught onto the Sentry and the Lifestealer and the Tide, I think, and then the ult connected with the Macropyre as well.
Right. And, I mean, that's a Roche for the Radiant. And Aegis onto the Sandy Mage, who's definitely the one that they want to put it on, since he's kind of their main damage dealer.
Split pusher.
Yeah.
And also like the only one that can sort of be safely, like the only 2 heroes that can leave their base are the Lord and the End.
Yeah. And you
so
just kind of...
they either play like the Uber game, like the everyone follows the Underlord and they just like TP around the map behind the anti-mage. That's like the kind of game they want to play. They want to be like split pushing and like ulting in and out.
Yeah. Looks like they're starting to collapse onto this Animage. Tidehunter's got Ravage if he wants to commit it, but I mean, Animage is too elusive for him. Is Underlord able to target a hero with his ult? Or is it just...
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. That'll be...
That'd be a little bit OP. Let's see.
Yeah, because then you could do like the cheesy like sneak into Roche stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Underlord, he's looking to finish up the pipe and then build into a mech. So really go on this just survivability build.
I think that he should have gone in before the event. But not an expert.
Yeah.
I think the pipe is a great pickup from the very beginning of the game. You have a Warlock and Sand King.
Yeah. Looks like Dire want to push this tower. They get a Burrow Strike onto the Animage. They might be able to... They pop the Ravage, so they get 3-man Ravage. As well as the Rock. They pop the Aegis, but here comes Jakiro. He gets a nice Ice Path. The Epicenter's popped. They do get a nice stop. Oh, geez. The Split Earth catches quite a few people. They bring down pretty much all the damage dealers. And Warlock, he turns around. They're chasing down after this Tidehunter. Animage by himself. They're able to bring down the Warlock. And Animage just chasing after this Tidehunter.
Yep.
They'll be able to walk him down and get some Midas used.
6k gold swing going back to the side of... oh, the mid still get the Tidehunter.
Yeah, I mean, the Animage is just walking him down at this point. Jakiro's here to help. Gets the body block off.
It's only like an Ice Path or something. It's a hard build.
Nice taunt. Not quite able to catch the Tidehunter, just a little bit too tanky. But
like
I mean,
at this point, like look at the net worth, right? It's basically back to dead even.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see the graph, but I'm just seeing like the little bar. It's only like small advantage for.
Yeah, it'll update here in a second. But yeah, and then they turn this into a tier 2 tower push, and I mean,
so Yule's up on the Elder Titan, great item to set up like stomps or to kite the Lifestealer around. S and Y on the Viper is going for that item skin. Instead of just like straight up Halberd, which you could have gone for.
Might go Halberd next. I mean, Halberd and Manastel are both pretty good on Viper.
And see, this is the problem. So Antimage also went for a Vanguard himself. The C's gonna go
Abyssal.
So the Vanguard, like Vanguard on the Underlord, sort of like loses value, I think.
But you can turn that Vanguard into a
Crimson.
Yeah, a Crimson later.
But is it really like?
It's just. I mean, it's just more for those tower pushes. Yeah. Looking to go into this Anti-Mage? I don't know. I'm not sure they can. I mean, they can kill him if they pop off their ultimates, but then they just kind of TP in.
They don't have Golem, and they barely have mana for Ravage. So they have to pop his Soul Ring.
Here comes Underlord. Specialist from the top.
Look at how much damage he has physically passive. Oh, he has double damage. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh, it's hitting so hard.
Jeez. I mean...
Yeah, now they're even in towers. Now they're the ones getting pressured back into the...
Oh, Sand King comes through. And...
Underlord
prepares the ult. Nah. Anime just like, I got this. I just gotta farm, guys. Oh,
ooh, that's an Orchid.
But that's what you got the mana style for.
Yep. See, now imagine if the SF had that Orchid way before instead of going for the Midas or something.
Right.
So it's going
Bloodthorn.
Bloodthorn now.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Bloodthorn's kind of turned into the poor man's MKB at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's like a multi-use item. It's sort of like more designed. I think it's more designed for mids that normally went Orchid to scale better into the late game.
Right.
Like WoP.
And it's better for your team as well, since everyone can...
It gives the true strike.
Yeah. But I mean, the Anti-Mage has... he's kind of shown off the counter to it with this Manta style. And there he goes again. Yep.
You're gonna need, like, and again, like, imagine if I had a Blink, you could have followed up that with a Ravage.
Right.
Or, like, if they had, like, an Ethos or some other item. Hold the look.
Underlord. He needs to finish up the mech. He's going for Guardian of Greaves next. This is just full utility.
Yeah.
Let's see. Viper, he's building into a BKB next. Not quite ready yet for the Halberd, but I like the BKB pickup just because he'll be able... The Vipers really wants to survive the team fights.
Yeah, I guess all these fights have been helping him into the game.
Yeah.
He's not sitting at a pretty place earlier when we saw him, but he's doing much better now. And at this point, it just really feels like Radiant's game to lose.
Right. They just kind of have to sit back and keep letting the Dire fight into them.
Like, I think that the next, like, power peak that Dire has is when this Tidehunter gets Refresher, which is obviously really, really far.
Yeah.
I mean, like Abyssal on the Lifestealer, that's huge, obviously. And probably, like, a Silver Edge on the Shadow Fiend. But, like, they still need, like, that hard lockdown on the Anti-Mage.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, Abyssal is the natural response. How far is Lifesteal from it? I can see what's on his score. Doesn't have anything.
Courier.
But there's a Silver Edge coming up on the
Shadow Fiend. Yeah.
He's close to his ultimate orb. Okay, and see, and now Dire's right into what we said earlier. They're just like 4-manning behind the Underlord and then letting Anti-Mage things.
Yeah, and I mean, every time this Anti-Mage has kind of gotten caught out, the team hasn't been far behind. I mean, Underlord, he's got a level 3 Dark Rift, so it's just he's 4 seconds away. Roshan is just respawned, so we might see.
That'll be a big contest.
Yeah. I mean, especially if the Anti-Mage gets Aegis again, and he just keeps split pushing and he stays around some creeps, and Underlord's able to pour it in with the rest of his team.
And look at this. In response to like the lack of lockdown for Dire, Warlock has queued up Sheepstick. It's gonna take him a long time to farm,
Yeah.
but could be a very good item, obviously.
It looks like they want to go into the Sand King. You got Elder Titan as well as the Viper, but here comes Shadow Fiend. Misses the Burrow Strike. And Yulesed up by the Elder Titan.
They have Sentries in the Jakir, but he's nowhere near.
Yeah.
I think he just run away.
They get a pick off onto the Elder Titan because of the Bloodthorn. And here comes...
Meanwhile, Anti-Mage is going to be knocking on their base.
Yeah. Anti-Mage, the Titan is there. Goes through. And he doesn't have mana for the Ravage anymore. I mean, they get 2 kills, and the net worth starts to creep back towards their favor, but I mean, this Anti-Mage, he's just... They don't have too much of an answer for him at this point. They can't really force him away unless they bring like the Lifestealer and or the Shadow Fiend with them.
There is an Abyssal coming to him right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least a recipe. Okay, he has it, never mind.
Yeah. And I believe the Anti-Mage has the Butterfly if he wants to finish it up.
That'll be at the expense of his buyback.
Hmm.
Or I think he's planning to save it, but they scout the Roche attempt and
yeah.
both sit back.
Yeah, forces Dire out of there. But I mean, they could come in if they want to.
So Tide buys his blink at 39 minutes.
They do have a smoke on the Warlock, but it's in his stash.
Lincoln's popped on the Roche.
Yep.
I don't know who popped it.
I think it was the Warlock? Yeah, Warlock with the Fatal Bonds.
Oh, he was trying to connect it on the Radiant.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 2-man sleep.
Nice.
No follow-up.
Yeah. Just kind of delaying the Roche.
Infest on the Blink Tide Hunter. This could be dangerous.
Oh, Tide's got his Midas up. He's got to go use it. Come on, man.
But they must have seen it. They had the ward on the high ground, so they must have seen the Blink and the...
Yeah. Smoke out. Probably looking to just sneak into the Roche, but I mean, everyone wants a piece of it. The Dire scan up. I mean, Anti-Mage is here. Coming up behind him. They do see it. Here comes the nice 3-man Ravage. They bring down the Jakiro early. They drop the rock. I mean, Anti-Mage is here, but he's not able to get much. He's able to bring down the Sand King as well as the Shadow Fiend. Viper's still alive. The only Jakiro buys back. Might be able to bring down the Lifestealer.
They use the Abyssal onto the Vipers. Now he has no way to lock down.
Yeah, I mean, they bring him down. They do get, they root him as well as stun him. And here comes a nice stomp. They're able to bring down the Lifestealer. Come on, let the Anti-Mage have the rampage. Oh, come on, man. What are you doing?
How does an Underlord get it? Oh, he has 215 damage. Look at it.
Jeez. Man, that Atrophy Aura. It's pretty strong.
I don't think he meant to steal it. I think he was like, oh shit, I have 215 damage. Sorry, mate. Yeah.
And then there we go.
I think that if they wanna go like full meme, they should consider the Axe of the Underlord. A fun one at this point in the game.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Doesn't the Ags turns Atrophy Aura onto his allies?
Aura. Yeah. It gives it like a small range. But it's a good item if you think you're gonna win team fights like this.
Right.
Because then everyone in your team gets like plus a bajillion damage, so you can just like teach everything so quickly.
Sand King got a little bit ballsy. Gets a Viper Strike. No, just gets another.
Yeah.
The orb on him.
It seems like the one game where Be Humble did not play to their team's motto. They're gonna pay for the lack of humility.
Oh, just barely get the Anti-Mage out of there.
Yeah.
They all go back to base. So they get a nice free lane of racks.
Yep, and now shrines are open. Anti-Mage's butterfly money. He has an Abyssal as well. And for buyback, he has everything he could have ever wanted. So that is one happy Anti-Mage.
Yeah. see, Animage. He does have, doesn't have, yeah, he will have buyback soon. And in fact, he has it now if he wants to finish up the butterfly.
He got it. No, he has the butterfly. And he had the surplus before. He had the surplus before.
Okay. Let's see.
And so, reactively, the Lifestealer going for the...
Oh, they find the Warlock. Just blinks right on top of him.
That's just food at this point.
Yeah. Looks like they want to clear out the lane and take the shrine. Secure the shrine, but the hook path onto it. And now's the point where the Animage wants to stick with his team.
Now there's like a lot of items in the supports of Radiant as well. 2 Force Staffs, a Glimmer, a Yules. A lot of items to just like kite around the Lifestealer.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's sort of the problem with like single target heroes against like someone who naturally buys Manta like.
Underlord, I mean, doesn't know quite what to pick. He did have a Radiance queued up on his quick buy, but switched to a Octarine core.
I think you should get Axe. I don't know what Octarine does for him. Or like you either go like Shiva's like full armor, or you go like Axe.
I mean, really, the Octarine's there maybe just for the cooldown.
Oh, you just want to like play like the rat game?
Possibly.
I see.
Oh, nice Ravage. But the Viper's able to pop the BKB beforehand and doesn't get caught by it. Here comes the nice Macro Pyre. Almost. Oh, Shadow Fiend doesn't time his ult quite correctly, so he gets caught up by the Abyssal Blade. He does get it onto the Animage. Oh, he Mana Styles out of it. Oh, jeez. The Fatal Bonds dropping him low. Tidehunter might drop low.
This should be game.
Yeah, here comes Animage coming up. He gets a nice bash onto the Warlock. He's dropping very low, turns his attention onto the Tidehunter, but actually blinks away.
Yeah, so they threw everything at that first life on the... They had nothing for attack. They threw the Ravage, they threw the Warlock ult, they threw the Abyssal.
And the Shadow Fiend wasn't able to get the Requiem off right as the Animage respawned. He wound up twice.
Back, I see.
So the Animage was able to get an Abyssal Blade onto the Shadow Fiend. Yeah. Nice stomp onto the Tidehunter, keeping him at bay. And
I'm pretty sure that they must realize that they don't have buyback in the court.
Yeah, and here comes Animage, throws out the Abyssal Blade. They have bring down the Sand King. They might bring down the Warlock as well, and they'll bring down the Tidehunter. Warlock buys back.
Well, at least with all this like Fountain dying, they've evened the score. It's always sad when you see a team win with less kills.
Right.
But now it's like at least even. You can say, oh, it was a very even game. But I think that it was ultimately like the greed of Dire that like caused their demise. They could have ended the game so much sooner. They just chose to try and play the late game against an animation, just took bad fights. GG gets called.
Yep. And the Ancient will go down.
Yep. So this should put some spice onto the last couple of weeks of this group. Because a lot of teams have like now opportunities to advance, so it's unclear what will happen. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that even despite this, Be Humble is like guaranteed like a tiebreaker in the worst case against some other team, but it's not really a position they wanted to be, especially when they had like a 10k gold lead. And, right, what was it at some point? Yeah, 10k at some point.
Yeah.
Just bad fights and bad decisions.
Yeah, there were just a couple of full team wipes that the Radiant were able to pull out, get those combos off. I think it was mainly that first Roche that kind of secured the win for Mr. Crab, I think. Kind of start at the end. Like they were able to get that 5-man wipe onto the Radiant, but they just took Roche too slowly, and Radiant were able to come in and finish it off.
Right, they used all their ults and then they had no gas left on the tank.
Yeah.